Hi, it's Pastor Paul L. Anderson here at the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, where we believe God's blessings never stop flowing. It is Satisfaction Saturday. I'm so grateful that God satisfies us with all the things that we need. He gives us life, health, He gives us strength, and He gives us the ability to do the things that He's called and commissioned us to do. Today, I'd like to remind you that on tomorrow, we'll be celebrating our time of in-person worship at the Fountain at 9 o'clock a.m. 7 o'clock a.m. is our virtual time. At 9 o'clock a.m., you can be right up front and impersonal. Share with us the goodness of God as we begin to tell God thank you for the wonderful ways He's blessed us. Today, on this last day of the week, let's look at God's Word and find out what He has to say to us. Today, I invite you to look with me at 1 Samuel, the 18th chapter, verses 1 through 4. This is a very insightful text. It's a text that, as you know, we have been talking about this young boy by the name of David. We've looked at the Psalms. We've looked at how God had anointed Samuel to make him the new king, and how he was Jesse's youngest son. Our text on today begins to show us whereby Saul had found out that David had a gift from God. The gift from God that David had was that David was a musician. He could play the harp. David could sing. David made such melody that it would bring anyone to calm. Today, I invite you to look with me at 1 Samuel, the 18th chapter, verses 1 through 4. We find here that after David had finished talking to Saul, he met Jonathan, his son. Well, you know, it is amazing that immediately David and Jonathan built a bond. They became brothers from another mother. I don't know about you, but in this life, there are always times that you and I can meet someone and you can find out that you're a kindred spirit, that you have been on the same page of music. You know, whenever I think about that and think about life and living, I have quite a few lifelong friends that I have known for 55 years, for 50 years plus. And it's almost like it was the first day that we met. We always had a great admiration for each other. We loved each other like brothers. Even though we were born to different parents, we just hit it off. Have you ever found out that your spirit was just in tune with someone else's spirit? Well, this King David, he had a son named Jonathan. Jonathan creates this immediate bond with David. They become brothers for life. It is here that we begin to see that now Saul has employed David on his payroll. David is now his chief musician. David is the one that whenever Saul finds out that he's about to get into a rage, he would have David to play some beautiful music. Well, Jonathan and David made a pact. They decided we will be brothers for life. They loved each other just as though they loved their very own selves. You know, this text begins to remind all of us how important it is for us to build relationships and friendships that are life-lasting. Relationships and friendships that will stand the test of time. Whenever you and I are in tune with our relationships with God, it is then that we can begin to see how this relationship that we see existing between David and Jonathan, a friendship, a relationships that stands the test of time. It's a time in which you and I begin to think about, do we have relationships and friendships like that for ourselves? Do we have people who've been there in our lives, the good, the bad, the happy, the sad, the ugly, the indifferent? Well, we find out this is a brotherly relationship that is established between David and Jonathan. They're there for each other in the good times and the bad times, the happy times and the sad times. And they go on to seal a pact. They took an oath. Look at what Jonathan does. Jonathan gives David the clothes off his back. He says, brother, I love you so much. God has been so good to us. I treasure, I value our relationship. This is a symbol that I will be your brother until the end of time. Well, you know, I'm so happy that Jesus is our brother from the beginning of time to the end of time. And when you and I put our trust and our faith in God, you'll find out that Jesus' relationship with us is better than any relationship that you can ever have with anybody else. He'll be there through the good times, the bad times, the happy times, and the sad times. Well, always know that Jesus is a friend who's closer than any brother. And we'll look forward to sharing with you tomorrow at the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, our virtual service at 7 o'clock a.m. and our in-person service at 9. Take the Lord with you everywhere you go, and we'll see you tomorrow morning in worship.
To sow a seed to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, visit our newly redesigned website, thefountainofraleigh.org, and select Sow a Seed from the homepage. Also, giving has been made easier with the new Fountain of Raleigh app, available now in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download today, select Giving from the main menu, and then follow the directions to complete your giving through Subsplash.
Thank you so very much for all of your gifts and donations that you've given to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship. We thank you for what you've done in the past, what you're currently doing, and what you will do in the future. Your gifts and donations helps us to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, not only locally, but throughout the world. Thank you again for your gifts, and may God continue to richly bless you. It is here at the Fountain that we believe that we are exceedingly and abundantly blessed, and may you receive those blessings that God has in store for you.